Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I am Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our wonderful, lovely, enchanting podcast. This is podcast number 229. As always, there is a tip from our previous podcast. That podcast is, 229 right behind us. We will be referencing the hashtag SEO podcast soon, which is also behind us. Remember, at Best SEO and at eWebStyle. We'll talk about that in a second. The tip from podcast number 228 is optimize your videos with the same tactics you would use on a web page. In fact, make sure that video resides on a page optimized for the same keywords.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in just speaking in terms of YouTube, for example. YouTube videos allow you to have a title, they allow you to have tags, they allow you to have a description. And so if you're really trying to rank that video or rank your site for that term, then whatever title, whatever tags, whatever description you use on that video, maybe you should optimize that page for that's on your site. So your page title should have the same title as that video. Your meta description should have the same description, or at least a summarized version of it, because you don't want to, whole YouTube description and your meta description, but the same description that you have there, and maybe those meta keywords could be your tags. If this is a blog post, then you have an option to tag it, use those same tags there. Take it a step further and embed that video, or definitely link to it within that same post. That way you increase your chances of ranking that video and that post for whatever term you're targeting.
Yeah, because having multimedia will help the post, and having the post will help the multimedia.
Definitely.
Excellent. So, please remember, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers.
Yes.
Where our mantra is,
don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
If you can, tweet now, as I referenced earlier, the hashtag SEO podcast. Please tweet that and,
tweet
checking us out.
SEO podcast, at eWebStyle, at Best SEO podcast. That way we can follow you back and link up and do all of our social networking stuff.
As always, there is a way you could help us if this is the first time you're listening to the podcast. Enjoy. If this is more than the first time you've listened to the podcast, you can do us one of three favors. Actually, you could do all three. Just here are some favors that you could do for us. One of them has 3 steps.
Easy.
Go onto iTunes, create an account, write a review. Nice and easy. Hopefully you make that 5 stars. Next thing that you can do is get to our G Plus local page.
Yeah.
And we've made it very easy to get to our G Plus local page.
Super easy, like super duper, ridiculously
really
easy.
Like duh easy.
Yeah, like duh easy.
So all you gotta do is go to e-webstyle.com/
G plus
or slash
G plus
or slash
Google plus
or slash
Google plus.
All of those will take you to our G Plus local page.
Yep.
There's about
Several
or 4
things you can
things
do.
you should do there.
Get there. Here's what I want you to do. First off, put us in a circle, right? Give us a +1 and leave us a review. If you're going to put us in a circle, call it, I don't know, Internet Marketing Specialist, SEO guys,
Yep.
top position snatch. No, don't do that. That's just us. Can't do that. Yeah, because we will be the only 2 people in that circle. But more importantly, while you're there, give us a review.
Thank you. You should also make that review 5 stars. Next, we have a referral program. You send us a client. That client pays their bill. We send you money. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You probably I like the sound of "we send you money." Maybe I shouldn't like that as much.
Well, you only like it because client pays.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
It's the previous
combination
step.
that makes it work.
It's the previous steps that make that work.
All right, and if you want a free website analysis, all you need to do is go onto our website, e-webstyle.com. There you will find something that will give you a free website analysis. Do we have any algo, Cat, today?
Not right now.
We're blowing through this because we're running a little bit late.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I may be going to the rodeo again. We've been to the rodeo a lot. Here's a little bit of news. The Chinese state media prompts Amazon to close one of the stores that was on it because the store was selling what's the right word?
Counterfeit
products. It's counterintuitive. Usually you're in New York selling counterfeit Chinese stuff. This is actually in China selling counterfeit Chinese stuff.
Oh, so it's like fake.
Yeah, it's like the fake stuff. So Louis Vuitton, there's a Chinese version, and in China there was a fake version of the Louis.
Yeah, well,
you gotta stop that.
Man, like Ew.
By the way, it's free when it's fake. 2 F's means free. It's actually 3 F's. All right. The only other piece of news that I got is, I don't know if you've heard about Mt. Gox. We mentioned it last time. Their assets were seized. It was one of those Bitcoin. I may have mentioned it. Maybe I left it out. It was in my notes.
I remember them. The Bitcoin.
Yep, the Bitcoin safety box or whatever. Yeah, and the fact that they lost. Anyway, they found 200,000 Bitcoins. I don't know exactly how you find stuff, but they were some sort of wallet somewhere. I probably should be
200,000 Bitcoins.
Bitcoins, right? So it had a decent street value, and it's really good news because now it means that Mt. Gox has only lost $375 million.
Oh, instead of
whatever
that 200 equals out to.
Yeah, I might have that exactly. So now we could back out the actual number, the actual value, if we knew what it was last time, which I don't.
Yeah.
Finally, a little bit of news. I was this close to putting on a tier tattoo.
I know, almost.
Like I was like, man,
tattoo
Chuck,
gun ready, ink ready to go.
I'm like, hey Chuck, tell me you got a review, please. My face is hurting already. Yeah, I know it's killing you guys. That's just how it goes. All right.
It's killing this guy now.
Yeah, it's killing this guy. And we're blowing through this. By the way, we're not blowing through this because of this review. So here we go.
We're going through this because it's Friday and we're ready to go home.
Yes. So the title of the review is Too Long. It is 1 star. Yeah. It's Ollie46 from United Kingdom. Give us your
UK dude, Ollie46.
Give us your real name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, if you're going to produce a half-hour show, why talk for 7 to 8 minutes about nothing at the start of every show? So, I told Chuck immediately after I read this, like, he's right. Our show should be like longer. 3 hours. And then we could talk 7 to 8 minutes, and we got 3 hours of show.
Well, a couple things about that kind of concern me. One, do you realize the average 30-minute television show is only 22 minutes?
Yeah.
There's 8 minutes worth of worthless promo. At least our 7 minutes did talk about
news,
how to sync your video with your website and hopefully rank for that, right?
Exactly.
I spent 3 minutes talking about
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
We gave you some news about the Bitcoin, so I'm sorry that the potatoes. You don't like potatoes.
Yeah.
He don't like potatoes.
Yeah, that's the problem. He doesn't like it. He's not from Ireland. He's from well, he could be
He
from
could
Ireland
be.
because it's UK, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he may not. Apparently, he's not from Ireland. We'll go with that. He doesn't like the potatoes. Okay, we get that all the time. We understand what my guess is that's typically a lot of reviews actually say, at first I was put off, or at first I wasn't convinced. At first,
He may be a new listener.
Yeah.
Keep listening, dude.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's Ollie.
Ollie46. Keep listening. Punch in the face for listening.
Yeah.
Appreciate
punch
you.
in the face for you took the time. You
to
created
leave
an
us
account,
a review.
Leave us a review.
He followed all 3 steps.
Yep.
So look, our first minute would have told you how to do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you knew how to complain. Is go to iTunes, create an account, write a review.
So appreciate you.
Done. All right, that is the Potatoes of our podcast. Time to get into the. Hey, I want to do a punch in the face. I think, David. Last time I mentioned he wrote a review too, and we read that last time, and I couldn't remember his website name. I actually sat down with him today. It was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
And it's Mission AC, mission as in mission, AC.
All right.
Very simple.com. So.
Yeah, so punch in the face, David. Appreciate you coming through. So today, I was on Search Engine Journal, and I came across a title, Remarketing 101, A Beginner's Guide. And I was like, this is kind of awesome, even though we're way past beginners, and I think most of you guys might be as well. But lately, I've been fielding a lot of questions from people calling in, asking about remarketing. And then since it's become one of our kind of standard practices with all PPC campaigns, we've been doing it by default for clients.
What was one of our tips? Even if you're not going to do it right away,
set up your list.
Start your list. Start acquiring your list. So.
Yeah, and we'll get into how you create that list here in a moment. And so, but I really want to present this content because let's cover some basics about remarketing. So punch in the face to Chris Kilborn over at Search Engine Journal. Pretty cool article. So the first thing he says is what is remarketing? Remarketing is basically.
By the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's spooky.
It is kind of spooky.
It's like, ooh, really? Yeah. In fact, 2 people today, David and the potential client that I met with this morning, were like, when I was describing it for their business, he was like, yeah, I don't know if I like that. And in my head, I'm like, it doesn't matter if you like it. It's good for your business.
But not just that, it's happening to you from other businesses.
Yep.
You know, but what remarketing essentially is basically marketing to people you've already marketed to, right? And so, for example, somebody visits your site and then they leave your site and then they begin seeing your ads only because they visited your site first. That's really the core concept of remarketing. It could get a lot more advanced than that, and we'll dig into it a little bit more. Some people call it retargeting. We call it remarketing. So how does it work? And this is what Chris was saying earlier. What we tend to do is anytime we go through a process, right? After we build a site, then we test it, then we launch it, and immediately on launch day, we begin adding code to that site. Code like Google Analytics code, right? Need to be able to track this code. While I'm in Google, I go over to AdWords and create the remarketing script. And then we put that script on your site as well. And so that way, what that script does is anytime somebody visits your site, that script drops a cookie on their browser. And so now their browser knows that they visited your site. Yep. More importantly, Google's content network and display network knows that you visited that site.
So when you say content network, give me some examples of like what you might mean by their content network.
So if you've been on any blog sites that or any sites period, most of them have these days
are on Google Ads.
They're showing some sort of ads, right? Where there's banner ads at the top, which are usually leaderboard is what Google calls them, or you may see kind of vertical
rectangular
ads,
ones on the side,
square ones, rectangular ones. Those are all banner ads. You may see text ads depending on it. The text ads kind of been phasing out lately because they just look like ads. And so those sites that are running those ads are in Google's ad network. And so you have the opportunity to just place banner ads there for no reason. Well, I ain't gonna say no reason, but you can just run banner ads there, or you can specifically select certain sites to run those ads on. That's called placements.
Right.
Or you can do remarketing and make sure that anybody who visits one of those sites who happen to come from your site sees your ad in that ad display area.
So I want to be really clear. It's not that they just came from your website and now they're seeing your ad. It's the fact that they've been on your website
before.
At all.
Exactly.
Over the previous, is it 90 days?
90 days. I usually set it for, you can set it for 30 days. I do mine 90 days.
Yeah.
And so that's what the whole kind of core about remarketing it is.
I don't know. Are you going to talk about why you might set 30 versus 90? Okay.
Well, that wasn't in here, but we can talk about it.
Yeah. So
I think it really depends. It depends on really your
sales cycle, right?
Your sales funnel. How long does your sale take? If this is a quick sale, let's say you're selling a product, right? Yeah. And so there's not really long. Some sales process is $49. You either buy it or you're not going to buy it, sort of deal. Then you may want a shorter sales cycle,
even under 30 days, right? So why spend money on somebody who's probably already purchased it or isn't ever going to get it?
Yeah, because if they saw your remarketing ad 2 or 3 times and they still haven't bought it and it's been a month already, they probably bought it from a competitor, and you don't want to. Might as well save that click cost.
Yep.
But maybe your sales process is longer. Maybe it requires an initial consultation, followed up with a meeting, and then a proposal, and then a second meeting, and whatever. Maybe you have a higher dollar service or product, and so it's necessary to stay top of mind of those people who were leads. These people visited your site before, and so you may want a 90-day, 120-day kind of remarketing list going on. So over the next 3 or 4 months, as they continue to peruse the internet, they'll continue to see your ads.
Right. And the way it works is it's not guaranteed to show them their ad. It just makes it, the fact that they visited your website makes your ad significantly more likely to show up.
That they'll see it. And then it works through Google AdWords, and so it's all bid based as well. Top bid. Like I top bid on remarketing ads because the cost per click is still going to be lower than it would be in Google's regular search network. So I top bid, so I have a higher likelihood of my ad showing
up. And I just learned this today. There are services that just do remarketing.
Yep.
So they're tied into the Bing remarketing campaign, the Facebook remarketing campaign, and the Google remarketing campaign, and they just handle that. I just thought that was interesting. I hadn't seen that before.
And so his next thing is, how is it different than banner ads? Those banner ads we were just talking about. And so again, with the regular display network, we may not want to run ads just in Google search network. We may just want to only do display. Maybe you're selling a product and you recognize that people who see the product rather than read a description about it have a higher likelihood of purchasing. And so doing search network is not really worth your while. It's worth showing them banners. And so you can do that. But the difference from doing a standard banner ad like that and doing remarketing is, again, that the person who sees that banner has visited your site at some point in time. The difference from just a standard display network banner ad is anybody can see that ad.
Right.
It's just random. It's just going to show. And frankly, Google's going to make it show as often as they can so they can raise the impressions and charge you as much as they possibly can.
Yep.
So why should you use remarketing? Well, that's an easy one. It's effective. It's super effective.
Yep.
And it's cheaper. I just said that, right? So, you know.
Do you have fun in there? Do you have that it's fun?
It's fun. It is.
It's
fun. It's fun from two different perspectives.
Okay.
And I'll give you both of them. From a customer, it's fun because I'm going to use a live example. So the Jordan 11s,
okay,
black and venom
Right.
green,
Right.
come out tomorrow.
You're kind of a Jordan fan,
Yeah.
right? Just
I wear 'em every day.
smidge.
They come out tomorrow at 8 a.m.
So kind of a fan. Is that Central Standard Time? Yeah, because
Yeah.
8 a.m. here.
8 a.m. here. That's when I'll be at the mall.
Yep.
Right? And so I've been seeing Jordan 11 remarketing ads everywhere.
They
Everywhere.
just want you want them more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Yeah,
it
and you're
fun.
like, I'm gonna
get
those.
them.
I'm getting those. Oh yeah, show it again. I want to
Like,
see what they
ooh,
look
yeah.
like.
Ooh,
Yeah.
haven't seen that angle.
That's a different
angle.
angle.
So yeah, it's cool. So shout out to Champs because it's the Champs remarketing ad that I'm seeing
Awesome.
specifically for the Jordan, which I was gonna get into later, but we can talk about it now. You have the option to show people a certain type of ad. Like we don't necessarily need to show people. They didn't show me a Champs ad.
Generic ad.
They didn't even show me a Champs Jordan
Yeah.
generic ad. They showed me a Champs Jordan 11 Venom green and black ad.
So somebody's doing a good job on their ad marketing and their remarketing campaign.
So that script that I'm talking about that you get from AdWords that you put on your site, you can get various scripts. You can get a kind of generic one that you'll just show your same generic ads. You can place scripts on certain sections of your site. Maybe you only want to put it, Champs would have put their script on that page that I visited that had the Jordan shoe on
Yep.
there. And that was the only page on their site that had that specific script that dropped that specific cookie on my browser. And so that's why I only see that specific ad. And so there's a lot of ways you can go with it. Maybe, again, with the sales process we talked about earlier, maybe somebody got halfway through your process. You had a consultation, and so you sent them a page to your site where they had to fill out some follow-up information, and they didn't quite complete it. Right, but maybe your cookie is there. Maybe your script is there, and so the ads they see say, "Hey, don't
almost
forget,
done." Yeah.
don't forget
Yeah.
to come back and complete filling this out." Well, I remember when it first happened to you with the domain
name. Yeah, yeah.
That was funny.
On register.com, and I was searching some domain names, and like 4 clicks later, maybe an hour later, 4 clicks is a lot less than an hour.
Like 4 seconds.
Yeah. I literally the banner ad was, "Don't forget to register literally the domain that I was looking for .com." So if I were looking for whatever Plumber Houston, then it said, "Don't forget to register plumberhouston.com. It's still available." And I was like, "Whoa, yeah."
We
that's
go
a
register
little
that domain
scary.
name.
Yeah.
Very scary, but extremely effective. And did I mention the click cost? Those remarketing click costs tend to be 70-80% cheaper than a click in Google's regular search network.
So one fun thing for the consumer. You said there was 2. What was the other fun thing?
Oh, the other thing is from an agency. So
Right.
any agencies we have that may listen to us and get advice, it's awesome to get a compliment from your client who's excited because they're seeing remarketing ads.
Their own ads.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I saw my ad everywhere," and in my mind, I was like, "Well, because you visit your site frequently, and so
Yeah.
you have all of them. You're gonna see your ad wherever you go."
Right.
And so that's kind of fun.
So there's one more.
Okay.
Your competitors.
Oh, yeah.
When your competitors come to your site and they spend the next 90 days
Seeing
and
your
they
ads.
see your ad, they're like, "Oh my God, these guys are spending a fortune on marketing.
Yeah.
we got to spend more money on marketing. We got to, get a
Do this and that."
billboard on the freeway or whatever that doesn't have that impact and is so cost effective because they've already visited your website It doesn't
Yeah.
cost that much more to show that banner. You're just showing it to the people who have already been to your website. So that's
Definitely.
three ways of fun. We should write an article, 3 fun things about remarketing.
Yeah, that we'll do that and we'll post that. So I like what he did here. He got into what are some different types of remarketing. And so there's site remarketing, right? And that's what what we've been talking about mostly. That's when you display an ad that an individual who visited your site and left, they begin to see. Right? Then there's search remarketing. So you can place your ads and tag them with certain phrases. And so although these people may not have visited your site per se, they can still see your ads if they're searching and visiting sites that are relevant to your ad or to what you want to advertise. And so that would be search remarketing. A third one will be social media remarketing. Facebook is huge at this. Matter of fact, anybody who's listening to this or watching right now, do this small test. Pause it, go to like overstock.com, look at a product, any product, doesn't matter. Leave Overstock, go to Facebook. I guarantee you,
refresh the page,
or scroll down 2 or 3 times, you will see an ad for the product you just looked at.
Yep.
It happens just that fast. And so that will be social media remarketing. And the last one will be email remarketing. All my Gmail people out there, you already see contextual ads based on whatever emails and things like that you've been receiving. Well, Google, that's fair game as well. They've allowed us the opportunity to market in people's inbox based on the emails they receive. Yeah, and so you can remarket or retarget people inside their inbox as well. So those are 4 basic types of remarketing.
So in a sense, actually, the email one and the search one is not remarketing because you haven't marketed to them yet. It's just highly targeted banner ads.
Yeah, it's more like a placement.
Right.
It's more like a placement.
So I know you searched SEO Houston, right, or Google knows this person searched SEO Houston. I've said, hey,
we have SEO Houston.
I'll pay a little bit more for that, and then when they're on some part of Google Ads network, it shows up. So that's really powerful.
Now the placements are really cool as well. I mean, we had a client who was running TV commercials on Velocity and Discover channel, right? Discovery Channel. And so we created a whole brand, created a whole set of ads, and began placing those ads specifically on, guess what? Discovery Channel's website, Velocity's website, because highly likely that the people who watch those channels also visit those websites.
Yep.
And if you saw the commercial when you was watching it and you went to the web and now you see an ad again, a little bit more impact, low cost, higher chance of conversion.
Yep.
Just makes sense.
Boom.
So
that's fun.
Yeah. So his next one was it's extremely fun.
Yeah, higher
conversions is always fun.
Yeah.
Well, his next one is what are some segmentations of remarketing? And we talked about that, right? You can do general visitors. You can do people who saw a specific product, right? Jordan 11, black, Venom green, size 13, in case somebody just wanted to be nice to you, boy. And who's probably watching, sweetie. And so, those are different segmentations of it. Now, another one we didn't talk about was the abandoned cart visitors. Well, kind of. Chris did give an example. He was in the cart process, almost bought a domain name, chose not to get it, and so now he's getting abandoned visitors.
Yep.
So you could do that. Previous customers is a great segmentation to use. Maybe people have purchased from you. The easiest way to get money from somebody is from somebody who's already paid you.
Yep.
And so maybe they have purchased, maybe they have signed up for your service. And so instead of, and then maybe on your checkout page, if your e-commerce site is right, you showed them some related products, right? People who bought that also bought this. Those are great products to use in a remarketing ad for people who've already purchased from you.
Yep.
Because they are likely to go ahead and get it. So lastly, well, I'm going to close there. The rest of it was kind of, he did use some of those samples you were talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you measure the success? It's easy. The money spent versus how much money you made, right? And at the end of the day, if you made more than you spent, then do it again. Rinse and repeat. And then I would take it a step further and compare that. Compare it to your other forms of marketing, right? So maybe you're doing some TV, maybe you're doing pay-per-click, you're doing remarketing, maybe you're doing some radio or whatever it may be. Maybe you're doing some print. Calculate all of your money spent. And hopefully you're doing a great job of tracking.
Yep.
Because the only way you can even compare is if you're doing some good tracking.
Yep.
Using different numbers or different landing pages and things like that. And then compare. And I bet money that the remarketing far supersedes in conversions, far is the less amount of money spent, and has a higher conversion rate because these people have already visited you.
Yeah, you want to use those. You want to segment those with the particular ad campaigns you're running. So, for instance, in the case of running the remarketing ads on Velocity and Discover Channel, what you really should be doing is saying, okay, I'm running the TV commercials, and that has a cost, and I'm also running the remarketing to support the TV commercials. How much better? So throw that cost in there and look at your ROI.
Yeah, because they go together. They're supporting each other.
Yep.
I mean, you could go super granular with it, and we maybe even created a landing page, right. to support the TV commercial and the remarketing ad. And so you may wonder how much does the landing page cost, sort of deal, if you manage that all yourself. You do it in the agency, then you don't have to worry about it. We'll just create the pages and create the ads and make it work.
Right.
But definitely compare. And so punch in the face to Chris, punch in the great article, man, Remarketing 101, a beginner's guide. And yeah, we'll do our post.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 fun things about remarketing.
Probably the biggest one is conversions.
Yeah, the conversions.
Increased conversions.
Well, and then the putting in your competitor's face. That's always good.
That's a toss up, right? I really like conversions. It's just fun for your competitors to get frustrated and to see you all the time. They're everywhere. Oh my God, this is crazy. And actually, one of our clients who was friends with his competitor told us about that. Yeah, it was kind of cool. All right, do we have any what? What?
No,
what do you say, sir? What? No what? All right. Well, this has been podcast number
229.
229. Thank you. I'm glad that's there. You have been listening to the most popular internet marketing podcast on iTunes. That is because of all you out there.
Right there.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. And if you want to stalk us or haunt us, there's a couple ways you could do that.
You missed something.
Yeah. Facebook.com/,
eWebStyle,
Twitter.com/,
eWebStyle,
YouTube.com/
eWebStyle,
and you can email us podcast@e-webstyle.com. And I'm not going to forget Instagram.com/
eWebStyle.
All right. I almost forgot.
Yeah, almost.
Until the next podcast, my name's Chris Burris.
I'm Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.
All right.